So yesterday, Donald Trump's Epstein problem got a lot worse because CNN reported that they had obtained exclusive photos never seen before by the public of Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein hanging out together, partying together, being with one another. And this comes as Donald Trump is trying to downplay his connections to Jeffrey Epstein and basically pretend that they were never friends and it was such a long time ago and it doesn't really matter. These photos blow the case wide open and show that their relationship, we know it to already be close, but was much closer than the public had already understood. So I want to show you some of this exclusive reporting that CNN had last night. But before I do so, make sure to subscribe to the channel, drop a like on the video, comment some American flags, some hearts, and let's dive in. One of the photos that CNN was able to obtain is one that was never seen before of Jeffrey Epstein attending Donald Trump's wedding to Marla Maples in the early 1990s. Take a look at what Aaron Burnett had to say last night about this. Have a look.
CNN exclusive tonight out front. K-File has unearthed photos of Jeffrey Epstein that we've never seen, and they shed new light on his relationship with President Trump. The revelations come as Trump is under fire from his own base for his Justice Department's handling of the so-called Epstein files. Trump has tried, of course, to distance himself from Epstein every which way. But one of the photos that K-File found confirms that Epstein actually attended Donald Trump's wedding to Marla Maples. And this is the proof. Again, this has never been published before.
Wow.
So this is a new image. You haven't seen it out there on X or anything like that. This is the proof that Epstein attended Trump's wedding at the Plaza Hotel in New York. And in the photo, what you see is Epstein entering the Plaza Hotel. The wedding date of this is December 20th, 1993, in the center of their friendship, which of course continued. And for comparison, we'll show you on the right a photo of Trump and Marla Maples at the same location under the entryway arch. Now we're
Yeah, so this is just the beginning of their report. This is just one of the many photos slash videos that they were able to find, but you can clearly see that that is Jeffrey Epstein at Donald Trump's 1993 wedding to Marla Maples, and Trump is trying to pretend that they weren't that close. They never hung out, despite the photos and videos of them partying together, despite the birthday card he sent to Epstein a decade later in 2003, which is a very long friendship, despite him attending Donald Trump's wedding to Marla Maples, one of the first wives that he had and inevitably cheated on. That is a close relationship. That's a friendship. Donald Trump can try to lie to the American people, basically gaslight us to our faces and pretend that, I wasn't that close with the guy. Clearly, these photos and of course everything we already know about Donald Trump completely disproves that. Here's some other reporting from CNN. Another one has they obtained some video of Donald Trump speaking to Jeffrey Epstein at the Victoria's Secret fashion show in New York in 1999, just chatting it up with Donald Trump. And let's look at this report from CNN as well. Have a look.
also found some video of Trump and Epstein that was from later of them talking that has also never surfaced before. What's that?
Well, that's right. This is from 6 years later in 1999. This video has never been seen before in this context. It shows Trump talking to Jeffrey Epstein just before models hit the runway at the Victoria's Secret fashion show in New York in 1999. You know, the only other video we've seen of the two men was 7 years before this.
Wow.
Trump is at the show with Melania, who is, of course, now First Lady, seated a few feet away from Epstein. You can see them chatting during the show as well. Allegations that Epstein sexually abused underage girls didn't surface until 2005, years after this video was shot.
So just look at this photo. Like Donald Trump, first of all, Donald Trump being at a fashion show where models are walking the runway with Jeffrey Epstein, and they're talking before this happens, in hindsight, is creepy. I mean, that just in and of itself makes you feel sick in your stomach. But Donald Trump is sitting 3 people away from Jeffrey Epstein, and this is in 1999, 6 years after Donald Trump's wedding to Marla Maples, of which Epstein attended, of course. Again, good friends. There are so many photos and videos of Donald Trump and Epstein together, which makes you really scratch your head and wonder, how is MAGA or some people in the MAGA base really trying to claim that Donald Trump and Epstein didn't know each other? They did everything together. Everybody that knew both Donald Trump and Epstein at the time, like people who dated Epstein, people who were friends with Donald Trump, all said like, yeah, they were best buddies. One of the victims of Epstein, or excuse me, one of the people that Epstein used to date and Donald Trump assaulted, she accused him of assault, confirmed this on CNN the other day, said in an interview that they were up to no good together. They were best bros, is some of the verbiage that she used. And these photos and these videos that CNN obtained just further prove that. Now, there's other reporting I have to show to you from all of this. CNN was actually able to contact Donald Trump himself and ask about these photos, and he exploded at them. He was so furious that they were asking about these photos, and these photos and videos were dug up by CNN. I want to show you their reporting on that as well. Have a look. It's short and quick.
When you get all this, and all of this is, as I just want to emphasize, right, has not been seen before. So you actually called President Trump. You called him directly to ask him about this.
Yeah, we were not on the phone very long. I think our call was about 30 seconds or so. But when I asked him about the wedding photo, he said, he sort of paused for a second and then said, "You've got to be kidding me," before calling CNN fake news and then hanging up on me.
Well, of course. I mean, what would Donald Trump say to something that is accusatory other than, oh, it's just automatically fake? It doesn't matter. Are you kidding me? As he just said in that. Again, if Donald Trump were innocent in all this and there's no wrongdoing and he has nothing to worry about, number one, why is he reacting to reporting like this, saying that it's fake news and things like that? Why is he suing the Wall Street Journal? But also, number two, why doesn't he just vindicate himself? Why doesn't he just release the Epstein files? If there's nothing to be seen and he's perfectly fine, it's all squeaky clean, then he should just release the files, right? That would kind of end the conversation on Donald Trump and Epstein, at least from a nefarious context, but he is refusing to do that, just making everything even more suspicious. The last piece of reporting I want to show you from CNN last night was after they revealed those photos and videos of Trump and Epstein together, they actually got Mark Epstein on the phone, who is, of course, Jeffrey's brother, and they had him debunk one of the main lies that Donald Trump has been pushing regarding Epstein. So take a look at the reporting.
And Mark, from what you know, from what you saw, how close was your brother to Donald Trump?
They were very close. They were good friends. Jeffrey used to sometimes tell me things that Donald said that were funny. I know Donald was in Jeff's office a lot back in the 90s. It's documented that Donald flew on Jeff's plane a number of times. I don't know if they ever checked, but I know Jeff flew on Donald's plane also. I don't know if they've ever looked at his flight logs. And they were good friends. I mean, I flew on Jeff's plane. It's known I was on a plane in 1999. Flying up from Florida, and Donald was with us. And we were all joking around. They were good friends.
They were good friends. They flew on each other's planes. Trump was seen, as he just said, Trump was seen in his office a lot back in the 90s. And of course, they were just hanging out on each other's planes, doing bro stuff, as has been commonly referred to. But again, really close relationship. You're not flying on the plane of a stranger, right? You're not hanging out with them on their private plane if you don't know them. You're not partying together. The point remains that all of the people who knew Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein mutually say that they were best friends, they hung out together, they did everything together. Trump, Epstein's brother, Epstein's ex-girlfriend, people around Donald Trump are all saying they were best buddies. So the overall point here, with all these different photos and videos that we just saw that have never been seen by the public before, is that Donald Trump can try as hard as he wants to distance himself from Epstein. He can pretend like the relationship never happened. It will not work. Our eyes see the photos, our eyes see the videos, we see the friendship they had, we hear all these different people saying, yeah, they were best buddies. Trump's gaslighting, his lying to the American people simply isn't going to fly. So I just had to show you these new and exclusive photos from CNN, but I will leave the video there. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you being here. Make sure to subscribe to the channel down below. It goes an incredibly long way. Drop a like on the video, comment, let me know what you think about these photos and videos. And as I always say, I greatly appreciate you, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day.